Can you feel it? The light guides us.
I think there's something wrong with the light.
No. There's something wrong with all of us. That's why we must be destroyed.
What?
Yes. Decrease filter by 15%.
No.
20%! This is sunshine!
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this is Forgotten Cinema. Each episode, we highlight a film that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. Whether it be a more popular movie was released at the same time, or the film simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We'll discuss what we love about the movie, or perhaps don't love about it, but we always recommend you revisit. You never know, as Mike says, you might find your own forgotten gem. If you like the show, then we want to hear from you. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Reddit, Discord, Patreon, YouTube. We are everywhere. We have a backlog of over 300 episodes for your listening and viewing pleasure. What's going on?
Nothing much, as you know, the sun is dying. It is getting a little dimmer.
Because of why? A cue ball?
Because of a cue ball, which is some kind of weird experimental, or until the filming of this film, which we'll get into, it was experimental, but now we've proven it might be real. And it's in the sun and it's dimming the sun. And so I need to drive this huge atomic bomb basically to reboot the sun, to create a little sun inside the sun and reboot the sun and make it brighter, to warm up the earth, which is slowly dying, to save all of humanity. But I don't know if I could do that, because everyone on the ship is going a little Looney Tunes as we get closer to the sun. Some of them might start to love the sun a little too much. So it's up to me to save the world, reboot the sun, even as my crew is going crazy and dying around me.
Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in?
I didn't. I
hear that works.
I tried killing some of my crewmates.
Listen, I think if this signal of our show goes out like beyond Earth and people hear that, or maybe like it lasts longer. If there is somebody who is an astronaut who is in the year 2057, 2157, 2357 and is hearing this episode, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in space and you're on your mission, don't answer a distress call. Okay. Let's stop. Okay. Let's just stop answering distress calls when we're out there. Finish the mission. Okay. Then come back and go answer the distress call. Because every single time you go answer that distress call, what ends up happening?
Bad shit.
Exactly. So if we've learned anything from this movie, is don't just ignore, turn off the beacon. What was that? I don't know, man. Get to the sun. I gotta get stuff done. Because you guys would all survived. I just don't understand. That's right. We are doing the 2007 film Sunshine, which is interesting, Mike. Side note, and I should have sent this to you. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about the modern state of cinema, but they were actually talking about how cinema was in the early 2000s up until the point when Iron Man came on, and obviously you had superhero
right.
that kind of was cinema in the 2010s, but it was cinema that it didn't matter if it was good or bad. It always did well. So why would they try to do something, why would you have something inventive or, and like do something that's creative, or just kind of like how I think we are kind of getting to it now where they're just kind of giving creatives a little bit more of a free rein. Go ahead, go do this movie. Like the Sinners. But in the early 2000s, that was a time when this was happening. So this film being in 2007, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Cause I don't think this film would ever be made now. You know what I mean? Like it
would have a lower budget and be on a streamer.
Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting. I'll send it to you after the show because I thought it was really interesting. But anyways, we're doing Sunshine. So let's get into the facts so we can talk about it. Cause I know heady sci-fi is up Butler's alley. So I kind of think that you got a lot of things to talk about.
All sci-fi is up my alley.
All right. Sunshine has a runtime of 107 minutes. It's rated R. Production budget of $40 million. It has a limited release date, but I'm going to give you the wide release date and all the stuff going along to that. Its wide release date was Friday, July 27th, 2007. Its opening weekend, it did 1.3 million, domestic 4 million, international 35 million, for a worldwide total of $39 million. This is technically a foreign film because it's a British film, or a British film, right?
Yeah.
So it's obviously international take is going to be bigger. And I believe it came out earlier, a month or so earlier than it came out here overseas. Production company was Fox Searchlight Pictures, and it was distributed by 20th Century Fox in the US. It also has a ton of other production companies that were on obviously on the other
Other side of the pond.
Of the Atlantic. Yes, exactly. I was going to say the Atlantic, but yes. So I said it came out the 27th here. So let's go back to the 20th. You had a wide release of I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, the Adam Sandler, Kevin James comedy, and Hairspray, the musical. I've seen both of those.
I've only seen Hairspray. I've seen parts of.
You've never seen it, Chuck and Larry?
I've only seen parts of Chuck and Larry.
It's pretty funny. You had the week that this came out, it went up against the Simpsons movie, which Butler I know saw.
I love that movie.
No Reservations, I Know Who Killed Me, and Who's Your... Oh, I didn't... Looks like I didn't... let's see, what's that say there? Who's Your Caddy? So yeah, that was not a great week.
Who's Your Caddy?
The week after, August 3rd, you had The Bourne Ultimatum, Underdog, Hot Rod, and Bratz, and the limited release of Becoming Jane and The 10. The 10 being the movie from the State guys. You remember guys who did?
Oh yeah.
What Hot American Summer?
We didn't do the 10.
We
right?
didn't do the 10.
Yeah,
we did.
okay. I've seen.
We did the Baxter.
The Baxter is what we did.
Right.
Yeah,
which is great.
I've seen the 10. I saw Bourne Ultimatum. I saw something else you said in that release period.
Hot Rod.
Yeah, I like Hot Rod a lot. That was like the first like really lonely island film.
I was okay with Hot Rod. I wasn't
Really?
I wasn't
I
a big Hot Rod guy.
No?
I mean, maybe I could always revisit, but I just wasn't into it. I don't know why. This film was directed by Danny Boyle, who has done Slumdog Millionaire, which he won an Oscar for. He's done 127 Hours. 28 years later, he's actually done all the 28, I guess.
No, he did not. He didn't
do the middle
direct
one?
He didn't direct Weeks.
Oh, okay. So he's
was
been
involved,
part
but
of
he
it.
didn't direct.
Yeah. He also did Shallow Grave.
A movie we did.
There you go. You remembered.
Yep.
Written by Alex Garland, who was nominated for an Oscar for Ex Machina. He also directed that. I believe that's his directorial debut. He did Warfare, Civil War, and he actually wrote, he directed Civil War and Warfare as well. He actually wrote Dread, the
Oh, that's right. He did the Carl Urban one, which is
yeah.
a big departure from his usual heady stuff. You just saw Warfare.
I did.
I saw you posted. Did you like it? Because I was interested in watching.
I did. It's very. It's a mission, so and the runtime of the mission is the entire runtime of the movie.
So similar to Black Hawk Down in that respect.
No, well, Black Hawk Down had more
stuff building up.
Yeah, this isn't a critique, but because it's so focused on the mission and what happened to them, it's very difficult to kind of emotionally connect with some of the guys, with all of them, maybe a few here and there, but Black Hawk Down had a lot of emotion going around it.
Right.
So, but it was longer. I mean, the actual, like when they went there, yes, that was the time frame, but the whole, but not the whole movie.
You spend a whole lot of time learning about the characters.
But Warfare, it was good. A lot of people are in it, and I mean, it's a pretty harrowing story, and just what happened. Like you're watching it, it's very, when it starts off, it's very just by the book. Okay, clear, going in, boom, 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 doing their thing, trying to get out. They see, they're surveilling an area, and then when they try to leave, when the IUD goes off, then it's just like, oh my god, like it gets like really, yeah. So it's good. I definitely recommend it. It's not long, so it's definitely good. Yeah. Cinematographer for this film was Alan Kuchler, who's done Tetris, Divergent, and Morning Glory.
Tetris.
That's the movie that's the
the one that they did about okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that movie.
It's good. I've seen it.
They call it the Game Boy.
I know, yeah. The way the movie's done is pretty cool too. The way they like the direction and the set, because they kind of like, there's a part where he's driving, is trying to escape, and they're got the Tetris song playing. You got doot doot doot. They got the blocks going. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Composer was John Murphy, who's done the 2025 Superman, Snatch, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and the Suicide Squad. Yeah. Edited by Chris Gill, who's done The Invention of Lying and The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Produced by Andrew McDonald, who produces much of Danny Boyle's films. He's also Trainspotting, Shallow Grave, just to name a few. This film stars, this is not in order of, I think this is in order of appearance. It's not in order of like who is top billing.
Right.
Cliff Curtis plays Searle. He is the psychologist who loves the sun. He's in The Meg. He's in the TV show Fear the Walking Dead and the movie Whale Rider. Cillian Murphy as Kappa. He just won an Oscar for Oppenheimer. He's also in Inception, 28 Days Later, TV show Peaky Blinders. Michelle Yeoh as Corazon, who also won an Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once. She's also in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which was kind of my introduction to Michelle Yeoh back in the day, because that was
that was her first film that came over here.
Yeah.
And then she won, or she was nominated for Memoirs of a Geisha.
Geisha? I don't believe
I know that's what got her interested in this role.
I don't have that down here.
Oh, no?
No.
Well, I know that's what got Danny Boyle interested in her.
Okay.
And he was like, you can pick any role. I'll even rewrite male roles as a female if you want any of these roles. And she was like, she liked the botanist.
Oh, right. She was going to be the captain, right?
No, the captain was going to be thought to be an American, and the producers convinced him to make it like more international.
Right. Hiroyuki, Sanada plays Kaneda. Mike's just talking about the
not Kanada, which is what it was originally.
Right. He's in the TV show Shogun, which is obviously brand new on FX. He's in The Wolverine and The Last Samurai,
a movie we did.
Rose Byrne as Cassie from Insidious, Bridesmaids, Neighbors, and the TV show Damages. Benedict Wong as Trey from he's obviously in the MCU, Doctor Strange, and all that other stuff. He's in The Martian and the movie Annihilation, another Alex Garland film. Chris Evans as Mace. Obviously, he's Captain America in MCU films. He's in also Materialist. He's also in the new Honey Don't and Cellular.
Oh, is he in Honey Don't?
He is. He's the pastor.
Okay.
We had this conversation. I talked
about him being. I know you talked about.
Do you remember the talk? I was talking to you about the sex scene and about how I remember I was like having that conversation about Cohen and stuff like that. And he's the
guy. Okay.
Yeah. Troy Garrity as Harvey from the TV show Ballers, Barbershop, and After the Sunset. Mark Strong as Pinbacker or Burnt Guy, I guess.
I've been in the sun for 7 years.
All right. He's also in 1917, Shazam, and Kingsman, and the Secret Service. And then, I'll give you I don't know if this is how you say, excuse me, her name, Chipo Chung. I don't know if you said that. She's the voice of Icarus. This is her first voice role or her first role. I'm not sure.
Cool. I didn't really know.
She's in the loop in the TV show Into the Badlands. Mike.
Field.
I have a lot of notes that are all technical.
Yeah, there's a lot of notes in this film.
Yeah. And it's interesting. And I copied them and I was like, oh, these are cool. But I don't know if we really want to get too technical into it, which you can. You had never seen this film?
I thought I had. And then when I was watching this, I'm like, okay, I've only seen parts. And I think I had seen parts on Cinemax or HBO. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want to watch the whole thing. Let me watch it from the beginning. So
did.
There are scenes where I'm like, I saw that scene. I've seen that scene, but never the whole thing.
All right. So let me have it. Let me hear it.
Cillian Murphy doesn't want to fuck the sun. That's what I thought the whole movie was. That's what I remembered from the film. It's a very good film. It's very heady. It's very interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of notes about what it's trying to say. And I don't really know if it's really trying to say as much as they think it's trying to say. I don't know if it's as heady in that way as they want it to, or at least I can't take their stuff seriously with Mark Strong's character at the end.
Well, it's
kind of silly.
That's my thing.
Yeah. It becomes this weird monster movie at the end, which I'm not a huge fan of. So it's good. It's heady. It's a little bleak. And I'm getting a little sick of bleak science fiction. I think that's kind of taken over science fiction for the last 20 something years. Between this, Annihilation, Arrival,
it's definitely in movies.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
the
Star Trek TV show.
The
new ones are always optimistic.
Expanse was a little depressing, but Expanse ends on a higher note. It does kind of evolve into the fact that, people end up getting along by the end of the Expanse and stuff like that. And,
right.
But in cinema, it's always some kind of darkness about the future of mankind or about space exploration. There's no hope. And it's starting to really bum me out. Even watching this movie from 2007, after watching Ad Astra, after watching, I don't really like Annihilation all that much, but Annihilation is the fact that the alien is some weird, not good person. It's starting to really get to me. So watching this, I'm like, it's good, but I'm kind of done with downtrodden science fiction.
Well, then don't watch.
The only way you can get hopeful is watching stupid Marvel movies.
Well, then don't watch any of Alex Garland's other films. I know you watched Annihilation, but don't watch Ex Machina.
I've seen.
Don't watch Civil War. Don't watch Civil War.
Well, Civil War isn't that's near future,
it's
but
still
yeah.
It's still
this stuff, and he's kind of one of the only people really writing sci-fi, which I have to give him credit for. There's very few people writing sci-fi in general, so I'll eat up depressing. Like I say, I'm kind of done with him, but I'll keep eating up depressing sci-fi because I need some science fiction in my veins. But Black Mirror is popular too. It's just so many examples of dark trodden science fiction lately, and it's just getting to me. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's well made. The other issue I have with this film is the characters all suck except for Mace.
Ooh.
Mace is the only character I agreed with. Like you said at the beginning, don't go do this stressful. Just do it. Mace is the only level-headed, sane, actual person following the mission, following orders, doing what he's supposed to do. Can Kaneda a little bit. Although he is interested in seeing what happened to the other Icarus ship. Everyone else is just kind of like, you're saving the world. You're on a mission to save this planet. It, like May says, nothing else matters. Their lives don't matter. The ships don't matter. The other crew doesn't matter. You're there to reboot the sun and save billions of people. Maybe even millions. Who knows how many died as we're going to this ice age. But it's just like their decision-making is so beyond, like, I don't understand why these people were chosen for this mission, because so many of them want to falter at the first sign of trouble, at the first sign of stress, at the first sign of anything. It just, one of the only sane people ends up being the guy, Curtis, who's like obsessed with the sun. He's like, that's got to be me who stays behind. I'll save you guys. Yeah. And it's like, how is this guy that's melting from the sun the only sane guy in this group of people? So I wasn't a fan of that. It's hard to relate to Kappa because he's just so in his head. But the events of the film are really cool. I really like the film. I like the science behind it. I like the design. But yeah, it's, some of it makes it like it makes it okay, but I would absolutely watch this again. But there's a lot that I don't like about this film. It's not it's a good film, but it's not a perfect film because there's a lot that I'm like, yeah.
Well, I think The Martian is hopeful.
The Martian is hopeful, and I'm hoping. I'm actually kind of excited for the new Ryan Gosling one that's written by the same guy.
Yeah,
because I know Ryan Gosling. I don't really like it because he's in everything.
Well, I didn't, but you know what? You say Ryan Gosling and Sci-Fi, and I think what was the First Man?
Yeah,
I was like,
that wasn't his fault.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like.
Yeah, it's also like, wasn't it like 3.5 hours long or 3-4? Like, it's really long.
Listen, I like Ryan Gosling, but like Blade Runner's depressing too. 2049.
Yeah,
the Fall Guy.
I love that.
You didn't see the Fall Guy.
No, because
Fall Guy was meh.
But yeah, you said it was meh.
The one he did with Chris Evans, the Gray Man, with the Russos that was less than meh.
That's terrible.
So while I like him, he has not been in a lot of other than
the Nice Guys,
which is awesome. He's pretty much playing that same character throughout a lot of these other movies, but like, so the movies around him aren't that great. So
I'm hopeful for them.
That's fine. You be hopeful.
I can't remember the name of it. Hail Mary.
Okay,
because he's on it's like a similar mission.
Who's directing it?
The same guy who did The Martian, I think. Isn't it or no?
Ridley Scott directed The Martian. Andy Weir wrote the book. I don't know if he wrote the screenplay.
Weir wrote the screenplay.
I don't know.
This, I think it's definitely based on one of his books.
Okay, all right. We'll see. Who you don't know who's directing it though?
I can't. I want to say it's the guy who directed like Edge of Tomorrow and stuff.
Oh, Doug Liman?
I think so. Hold on.
I mean, like, we've never really on the show said that we're movie experts because we're not. We
don't memorize.
I've forgotten a lot more stuff than I can remember, quite honestly, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
You watch 8 billion movies, so yeah, you're gonna forget stuff.
I watch too much.
Oh, Phil Lord and Chris Miller are the directors. All right, now I'm a little more nervous.
There you go.
Although Lego Movie is awesome, the first one, and I do like Parks and Rec.
Okay, that's a TV show.
It's written by Andy Weir and Drew Goddard. Who I like Drew Goddard.
Oh, he did The Martian. I'm sorry, he wrote The Martian too. I'm just saying, let's not start putting the crown on it. All right,
I'm not putting the crown on it, but I'm saying that's
going to be a Netflix film.
It will be a hopeful film. No, it's a theatrical film filmed for IMAX.
So is Tron Ares,
which looked great in IMAX.
All right. You're talking about Sunshine, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I think I had the same. Overall, I had the same issue that I had when I watched it the first time. I remember enjoying a lot of the movie, but the third act bugs me because it turns into like this like horror film, and that's not what the movie was set up to be in the beginning.
Right.
So it's a turn, and it's a turn that I wasn't ready for when I first watched it. But in this one, when I was watching it again, I'm like, I know he comes up. I know Pinbacker's here. I just don't know. Like, I don't remember how, and he's just on the ship, and I'm like, okay. So I wasn't again, I wasn't a fan of that because again, you introduced him in the third act like really quickly, and then he's there. And now all of a sudden he is like a major player in this last 20 minutes of the movie. And I don't have any connection to him or any connection to the original crew in those. And I was not a fan. There's some technical stuff in this film that I was not a fan of, especially towards the last like 30 minutes of the film.
Like directing, cinematography, like that kind of stuff.
Just probably more direction.
I know like the flashes,
the flashing of the crew.
I hate that. That's so amateur.
I didn't like that. There's when for some reason every time we see Pinbacker, we can't really see him. And I thought at first it was his viewpoint, his POV. Okay, he's messed up. He can't see.
But it's not.
It's every time they show him, he's like, it's just everything's weird. And I'm like, are you hiding how he looks because you don't like the makeup? That's what I kept feeling. Like this feels like a choice. Like we can't really show him all the way.
I mean, the makeup doesn't look great in that one of the deleted scenes. They show it and it's like,
But I didn't like that when they're in the payload. All of a sudden the aspect ratio starts stretching. There's a couple of freeze frames in there.
I get the aspect ratio stretching because the gravity of the sun is so intense that it's like just messing everything up. But yeah, when the freeze frames start happening, it's like the film's messing up.
Yeah.
If I was doing with the film check like we used to do at the theater for films, I'd be writing that down in notes. Pauses. I don't know. Something must be wrong with the film reel. I don't know what's going on.
And I think part of the reason why I don't connect with it is because this all happens in the third act. The first two acts have nothing like this.
Right.
And
well, Curtis is obsessed with the sun and he's kind of getting there, or you think.
Right. But I read the note that like he is the opposite. He's supposed to be having the same metamorphosis as Pinbacker, but
Cyril. I'm sorry. I keep calling him Curtis as his real name.
Oh, yeah.
Cyril. Yeah.
But he is not somebody. He's not like whereas Pinbacker, which is the Mark Strong character, decides that humanity is over. He's gonna, they should die. We should all die. And
we all have to go to heaven.
Yeah. That God talked to him. Cyril is more, I'm here for my fellow man and humanity. Like it's supposed to be the opposite. But my problem with that in terms of, let's talk about the characters. He's the psychologist and he is clearly there's something going on with him. He's in the room too long. And I'm so happy that Chris Evans' character he says it. He's like, am I the only one to notice that he's got a tan and he can't see anymore?
What bothers me, Cyril, is that you're supposed to be the psychiatrist and I'm saner than you.
Yeah. Like that's like, so the Mace character is a really good character. And I read that was one of the characters also that helped him get the Captain America
role.
When
I read that note too before I'm watching it. As I'm watching, I'm like, I can see this. Because originally when he's cast as Captain America, I'm like, how can you watch Fantastic Four, any of his other like movies where he's a sarcastic ass and be like, this is Captain America. In this film, it's like he's take charge. He's a leading man. Like this is a good film for him to have been in.
Sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good character.
Yeah. Cause the whole time you're like, yes, just follow Mace. It's like everyone hates him. And it's like, you should hate yourselves. You're the morons.
One of the notes I liked that I had was that they were given character background stories, all of them, just to kind of like know where they were coming from. And you never really see, it's not on screen. You don't see it, but it's when you read the character backgrounds, you're like, you can see that helped them shape the story.
Yep. I love that. I love when people do that.
Well, you should do that. Yeah. That should be what you do.
Everyone should have a sit down with the director or the writers, or both. And there should be a 1 page or 2 page document given to you that tells you where you came from, or one that you help write with the writer director.
Sure.
Once you try to understand your character.
Should be where quite honestly, it should be where you're coming from up into the event of whatever the story you're doing.
Yep.
Obviously, you already know what happens to you in the story, and you should really have maybe like a 1 pager of what happens after if you survive whatever the story is.
What happens after? I stay frozen on a ship.
Yeah, well, if it's not sunshine, it's something else. But if you should like, where does this? So you know where your journey's going, so you can, as an actor, as a storyteller, you can know like, oh, this is what I'm telling. And if you want to have allusions to like, let's say for the sake of argument, you're a character and like I tell you like you're after the events of what happens in whatever story we're telling, you have this you have this house that you live in now with a white picket fence and you have 2 kids and whatever. So that might shape you where in the script, you might have an ad lib where you're like, I know I have this dream of like just being in the suburbs and what, that might be great. Be like it might not be, that might not be germane to, we might not have discussed it, but that might be a nice ad lib in the story because you're alluding to what happens in the future. So I do like that. I do like the idea of the character story arcs and all that stuff. I think that's great.
Reminds me of what you're saying. Reminds me of what John Bernthal did in Wind River when he talks about Ohio, because he himself lives in Ohio and he had like, I'm going to add this in, and it becomes like his dream of taking the girl away and then living a good life and stuff like that. Yeah. I absolutely agree with that. And I think that's why a lot of historical dramas, get nominated for all these awards and these actors get nominated for these characters, because those characters have, if it's a famous event, they have biographies and they have, this is what happened after that event with that character. And they're able to build it because other people have written that for them. And like you said, if the director and writers just write things for these characters and these actors, even in something like a science fiction movie, a horror movie, like I think it just helps immensely with actors.
Every great writer, every good writer, every writer has these already in like
story Bibles and stuff.
Already has this stuff in their head. They just don't put them down, or they have them written down,
or they didn't give the actors.
Story. Yeah. So you're a big theme guy.
Yes.
There's obviously a big theological theme going on throughout this film.
In the notes there is, and I mean, I guess there is because of what
just at the end they kind of say it.
Pickle face. What's
Pinbacker.
Pinbacker. It's like such a weird horror movie name. What Pinbacker is trying to talk about, but I honestly. No, I wasn't picking it up that much as I'm watching it.
I think Cillian Murphy's character, has some couple lines about God in there. And I know in the notes, it talks about this film changed him from an agnostic to an atheist just because of the movie itself and the conversations he was having about the film in terms of the actor. Oh, but like, so yes, but there is, maybe it's not a theme then. Maybe there's a theological undertone in this film, which I think you inherently get when you're about the end of humanity and trying to save humanity. Do they deserve to be saved? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think you get that kind of that. Like that's just whatever.
Sure, but the characters never really discuss God. You know, I think it would help if there was a preacher on board. I think that would be interesting. And I think one of the things that I thought was interesting about Covenant, although they kind of kill him off really quick, is the character who was the like super religious guy on the mission to colonize.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh,
I can't remember the actor's name.
Shoot. I got his head. I
can picture him, but I can't remember his name.
Eventually.
Billy Crudup.
There we go. Yeah. Billy Crudup's character in Alien Covenant, how he's religious, and they talk about it, but he dies too quick to really have any kind of conversation with David, which I think would have been really a lot more interesting about like his theology against David's kind of atheism, or his thought of David being God. I think, and Prometheus talks a little bit about that too, but they don't have a preacher character. I think that would have helped this film because you could have the excuse of him being on with maybe the psychologist, or the psychologist was also a preacher. And so you could have these kind of discussions, because until Pinbacker shows up, they don't really talk about it. I mean, Ruby talks about Ruby, right? Rosie, Ruby,
Cassie.
Butler is terrible, isn't it?
Rose Byrne.
So Cassie talks about Cassie talks about how she's afraid of dying.
Yes.
But she doesn't be like, do you believe in God? Do you believe we're going somewhere? Where are those conversations? If this movie is supposed to be a debate between which is kind of what they found as they were developing it, between atheism and kind of faith, I guess. I think Danny Boyle is a devout Catholic or whatever he says in the notes, but I don't think it necessarily has to be about Catholicism, but I don't think there's any of that conversation really going on until Pinbacker's like, God told me that we
once
die.
Pinbacker enters the movie, then it goes a different direction, and everything you have leading up to it is just lost. So let's say Pinbacker's not in this film. I think you might have some of that. You might have, it's more of, but again, then you're talking you're getting George Clooney and Solaris. You're going to get a boring movie.
You'd still have the three of them though. You still have Cassie, Kappa, and Mace at the end.
Yeah.
So the three of them can still, and Michelle Yeoh's character, even though she's obsessed,
because she was killed.
She goes off on her own to talk about the plant.
Yeah.
But I think that with those 4 characters, you could start to have discussions. She sees the plant. Life is beginning again.
Yeah.
You can have discussions, but instead now you've got Pinbacker slowly, ultrasonic scalpeling people left and right.
Yeah.
And just like,
I thought it was
why?
Dune.
It was very Dune. It was just kind of like, ugh. And also, I don't think one tiny scalpel blade in the back would kill her.
Yeah,
Maybe
she died real
paralyze her.
quick.
but
And then
she's like, oh.
then she sat up and crossed her legs and held the plant.
Yeah. So was that him putting
I
her body in like a Hannibal Lecter position?
idea. No idea.
And why is he so strong?
I don't know.
He picks Kappa up with one arm.
Yeah.
He's a burn victim. His
I
skin should be
don't-
sensitive and start peeling off.
I don't know.
He's essentially a zombie.
I don't get the Pinbacker character. I don't understand like what he's been doing. And
7 years he's
did
been
he,
alive.
He killed all those people. He killed all the crew. Or did they kill themselves?
I assume he put them in that room and zapped them to death.
But my thing is, if he, so like when he, I don't, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. It's really just.
I think it would have also helped to have like the Event Horizon type video where they pull up footage and it's
we're living.
and it's Pinbacker killing them all, and it's just
Sure.
like a little like, here's what happened. Oh my god, all this is terrible. Oh no. And Harvey sucks too.
Harvey's supposed to be Harvey Weinstein. Did
I
you
saw
see
that note, and I kind of liked that note, but I'm like, but he still wouldn't have been chosen for this mission to save the world.
I don't understand how the comms officer is suddenly the second in command.
Yeah, what is Mace? Because Mace seems like he should be the second in command if he isn't.
They describe Cassie as the pilot. Okay, so then if
she's clearly the pilot. So in the cockpit.
I thought Mace was the second in command. I did not understand why Harvey was in charge.
Me neither.
And speaking of that, because that reminds me, because this whole movie goes off. I know I talked about, hey, don't answer the distress beacon. Yes, number one. But number two, he sits there and goes, hey, we're going to lose comms 3 and 4. We'll just deal with that when we get to it. You didn't think that it was going to catch fire and then cause a chain reaction that would just start like it's just an open fire going on and it would just start like a fire within where your plants are. Like that's not. Number one, that's not thought about. Number one, Icarus doesn't tell you, hey, listen, if this happens, this is going to happen.
Icarus makes me real mad when she's like, there's a 5th person on board. It was like, wait, so you knew someone fucking snuck aboard? You knew somebody snuck aboard.
Yeah. Why did you say something?
Yeah.
Unknown person.
You're an AI.
Yeah.
Who's clearly like a very smart AI because talks like a person, answers questions like a person. Womp, 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 womp. This is a planet-saving mission. There has been no more important mission in the history of Earth than this mission. And your AI is like, whatever.
And another thing, why is it so easy to remove the mainframe from the coolant tanks? If she is so important, if Icarus is like, no, the mission is more important, let's keep going. We're going to keep
the door.
going.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they decide to turn. No, we're going to have to forget it. We have to. You can do that. You can sacrifice the captain and you can sacrifice all that, but you can't do anything else to save yourself throughout the rest of the film. I don't understand that. Bothers me. Now I'm upset.
Just letting the mainframe up. I mean, I don't think they expected Com 3 to like launch like a missile through the
but there was no but it was blown off with we'll figure that out when we get there. It's like, but wouldn't Icarus be like, well, if we lose 3 and 4, if it catches fire, the probability of this, that, the other thing.
Well, it didn't just catch fire, it launched like a missile into the bay.
But you should have known that.
But it's interesting. Also, the fact that there's only shielding on certain parts of the ship.
Well, no. The shielding is a giant shield in front of the entire ship.
So the shield is just the bomb. The bomb has the shield.
The payload is right behind the shield, so that when they send it into
they're shielding the payload. The ship is just behind the payload, so it's just lucky enough not to. But why not shield the ship? I just don't understand.
No, the ship is hidden by the shield.
Yeah. But they never like, maybe you have to course correct. Maybe this will be
because when they shoot it off, when they let go of the payload, they had 4 minutes to get away. So it just sits there. Then it rockets into the sun. So they would be away from the sun in time, but they wouldn't.
Yeah, but then it blows up. And then where's the ship? Because they're still at the payload location, dude.
I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, there's a physicist who helped them make this movie. Brian Cox helped them make this film.
It should have just been like this. This would have been like a 10-minute movie. We got a distress call. Now we got a mission. Boop, credits. The Earth was saved. They're done.
They launch the bomb in the sun. They get burned up because their heat shield is on the bomb. It just doesn't make sense. I do like the note about the spacesuit.
I don't like the spacesuit.
The spacesuit is big and clunky because it's obviously supposed to absorb the sun, but they were like, what can we base it on? It's based on, it looks like Kenny from South Park, and it's based on Kenny from South Park.
I don't like What I don't like about the spacesuit is I was really tired of the shots at the time they kept going into them inside the spacesuit, and they had that little slip, but like we had that like POV of them.
Yeah.
Because you kept going back to it. And I kept thinking like, there's no way you can do anything in that suit looking through this, like this. And like, it's so, how can you do anything? That wasn't
A lot of spacesuits are like big and clunky though. I don't believe
it's 2057.
I don't believe he can get back up. I didn't believe that.
Yeah.
When he stands back up, I'm like, no, you're done, dude.
But then I had a scene.
Banging his head against the helmet.
God.
I just didn't believe he was
Spit
getting
everywhere. Let me give you some reviews. Sean Axmaker from the Seattle Post-Intelligencer says that the film presented, quote, a visionary odyssey with a grace and awe and visual scope that calls to mind Kubrick's 2001 for a space odyssey for a new millennium, with echoes of the industrial grunge and crew friction of Alien, the greenhouse ecology of Silent Running, even the unraveling sanity of Dark Star. It's like, yes, we get it. You saw those films.
I get that though, and I believe that those are the influences because the whole movie is supposed to be a love letter to heady sci-fi.
He says his influences are 2001 Alien, and there's a third film.
Yeah. So I believe that.
Solaris.
I like to note that there's another director who wrote a comedy.
Oh, Michael Winterbottom.
And he was supposed to he wanted to film it on the sets, but his movie didn't get going.
They said no, they couldn't get permission.
Oh, they couldn't get permission, and it failed after that. Yeah. It was something interesting.
Derek Ellie from Variety says the film was, quote, gripping enough with its solid performances, good-looking CGI, underlying tension, and resonant, iron-hard digital soundtrack. This film reflects education excellence.
Education excellence.
If you ever have to go to the sun, this is the movie to watch.
With a problem happening with the sun that's experimental at best at the moment at the time when this was filmed. And if you're a burn victim, you can lift people up. You get special superpowers as long as it's burned by the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure that's not what happens. I don't think anybody with melanoma is going to be agreeing with this film's depiction of sunburns.
I've got other ones, but they hate them too, so I won't get to them. They don't like the movies. Like Joanne Kaufman from the Wall Street Journal called it a warmed over stew of sci-fi and gothic horror.
Yeah, I mean, it's good, but the more we talk about it, the more like the issues really glare.
I love the idea of it. I like the actors in it. I like some of the scenes, but the third act, when the third act comes with Pinbacker, that really throws me for a loop and throws the movie for a loop, I think. But then I think to myself, okay, if Pinbacker's not there, would I really still like this film? Like, would it kind of peter out? Because what's the end? What is the end? Like after that, they're just they survive and
they don't survive. I mean, they by the end they knew. Well, no, you're right, because if there's no Pinbacker,
they would survive. They would come back.
Well, no, because even if there was no Pinbacker sneaking on the ship, the mainframe was still destroyed on Icarus 1.
Yeah.
Because May says we're not going anywhere. The mainframe's destroyed. So regardless, it's still a one-person mission.
I see. I
would just have Harvey crying about how he's going to have to die.
So that's the thing, though. I think you have something like if it's a hopeful sci-fi, like The Martian, where on their trip back, they survive. Like however they
find some plants. They find that's what I didn't understand when they're like, oh, we can't make it back. You can't take some of those plants into your ship.
Yeah. No.
I also don't find it interesting that the ship is on a journey to the sun, whatever. It's got the biology room, which helps, obviously food and oxygen.
Yep.
But you don't have enough oxygen stored to last 2 days. Like they're not on the ship that long, and all of a sudden they're already starting to suffer from hypoxia. I was just like, I don't understand this.
I don't know. I don't know. This was going to be the first of a trilogy.
When I read that, I was very like, where do you go from there?
I don't know. Sunset?
Sunrise. It was too good. The sun was too good.
We made two suns.
We made Super Sun.
But they didn't get apparently Garland and Boyle kind of
they had a falling out,
because of their beliefs.
Yeah.
But then they obviously came back together recently for
28
years later and stuff like that. So I thought, which is pretty cool, which I'm good to see. Good to see. Good to hear and good to see. I guess let's get to who would you recommend this to?
Sci-fi fans. There's just a tumbleweed running through sci-fi, film space type sci-fi now. That I think that if you haven't seen it, you got to eat it up. You got to eat it where you get it.
I think we've done a couple of sci-fi on the show that I think Ad Asher is a good one to watch. See, I know you don't.
Wasn't a fan.
I know you weren't.
But again, I would probably recommend it because there's no other sci-fi.
Yes, it's doom and gloom. Okay, yes, that's fine. I get that. But like, I think Ad Astra is a good one to recommend. Sunshine's a good one to recommend. Even though we sit here and had problems with it, it's still a well-made film.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like the choices in the third act, that's
And
just
the third act is
preference.
quick.
But that's
It
preference
is,
for
too.
me. That's me as a filmmaker. Don't pay. If you like that, don't listen to me. The Martian's another good one. I would always recommend watching the Expanse show. Like so,
shows and stuff. Yeah.
No, I mean,
But
I
I just think in film there's just not a lot. So it's like
not right
I
now.
would recommend it to anybody.
It's probably expensive, and a lot of the stuff in space is Star Wars or, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's more space adventure. than it is
which I don't even think you get a lot of that.
exploration.
Yeah,
Well,
Guardians. Well, you
yeah.
get Marvel because Marvel deals with space
I
nowadays.
mean, Thor counts, right?
Ugh,
Ragnarok. I mean, that's
I guess.
that also a lot of stuff counts. I agree with you, but why are we saying it's forgotten then? Because I go ahead.
I mean, I think it came out at a time when it was like, was it Solaris just came out or whatever? Didn't do well. I think that
Virus didn't do well.
Virus didn't do well. Just a lot of these sci-fi movies weren't doing well in the early 2000s and 2010s. It doesn't have a huge cast. Like Chris Evans was kind of a name even back then. Like he was in stuff, but he wasn't a huge name. Michelle Yeoh was just starting to like come over, like at least in the States.
There are definitely a lot of people at the beginning of their, like before they launched.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy had been in stuff, but again, he wasn't a huge star. You know, he's in Red Eye. He's in 28 Weeks Later. He's still rising. He's not like Peaky Blinder Oppenheimer status now. So I think that doesn't help the film. Danny Boyle, although he's a great director and has made some amazing films, I don't think he's like a name.
No, totally.
Not outside of fans of film, cinephiles, I don't think he's a name.
Well, I don't think he does he doesn't do a lot of American films. He does his films the way he wants to do. Yeah. And but he still does quality films.
I didn't say he did. Yeah.
He's just not going to come over here and go do a Thor or something like that.
Joe Bob at a Walmart's not going, oh, it's a Danny Boyle.
No, you're
film.
right.
Let me
You're
buy
right.
this DVD.
You're right.
The fact that it kind of failed in cinemas, and so like I don't think it's going to do well outside of it, like because you don't have a lot of word of mouth going on.
Yeah.
And again, like everything, it's not streaming. Where is it? So
This is
Cillian
true.
Murphy is huge now. Why not put it on a streamer? Why not put it on Disney Plus or Hulu because it's Fox Searchlight? And just be
Physical
like,
media,
buy it.
baby.
It's true.
Stop relying on streaming. It's not there for you. It's not there for you. It's there for them. Yeah. All right. Sweet. Where can they find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast. You're watching or listening to us right now. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff helps the podcast grow. Let us know what's your favorite kind of modern like space sci-fi film that's not Star Wars or Guardians, something like a Sunshine or maybe something hopeful that maybe I missed out on that I should see. Let us know in the comments down below. If you like Forgotten Cinema, check out all our other episodes. We've got now showings, we've got lead ups, we've got a whole bunch in November when you're watching this. We got a whole bunch coming up throughout the rest of the year, and we're still got to plan out our 2026 kind of. If you haven't watched Forgotten Horror, check that out. If you want more episodes, we're on Patreon with exclusive episodes there. You can keep up with everything we're doing. We have Discord access, merch store, stickers, all that kind of good stuff. So just keep checking us out.
That's right. So yes, actually, this is the first episode of 23.
23, yep.
So join us next week. Actually, we stay in the same year. We're in 2007 again, but a little later. We're going to do the Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts, Philip Seymour Hoffman movie, Charlie Wilson's War, a personal favorite of mine, which still holds true. So that'll be next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema.
God told me we need to go to heaven.
Wait a minute. And yes, Trey killed Kaneda.